On a day where it hit 90 degrees outside, we're not so bad about being inside at the Indoor Event Center here at Grand Park. It is the home opener for season number 2 of Indy 11 Women's Soccer. We're thrilled to be with you on the ISC Sports Network, as well as the official home for the USL League in 11 Sports. It is the first of 2 installments in 5 days of LIP AFC Ladies Edition. And it probably also will go a long way in determining who will get a playoff spot coming up at the end of the month. It is Indy 11. It is Racing Louisville's Academy team. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Greg Rakestraw, making his Indy 11 women's broadcast debut, but he has now been my broadcast partner and friend for the last 10 Indy 11 men's seasons. It's Brad Hodder. For those of you that may not know his coaching background, yes, the men's coach at both Rose-Hulman and DePauw, but also the women's coach at Rose-Hulman as well. And being around this team now on a full-time basis, your thoughts about being here this evening?
I'm super excited. I tell you, the Kings Hammer game was an interesting one to watch. You know, you hit the post 3 times, took a late goal to get the win, but you could just see the dominance in these players.
Well, of course, this Indy 11 team last year won their division, which is a different division from a season ago. Kings Hammer and Racing Louisville joined them in this new Valley division, along with a brand new club in Lexington SC that has made their debut on the men's side in USL League One this year as well, and St. Charles from the St. Louis area. It's 5 teams in the division. You play some teams twice, some teams 3 times. Clearly there has been a pecking order established. Let's show you the standings through 3 games and for some teams 4. Indy 11 has outscored their opponents 12-0 through 3 matches so far. Racing Louisville has outscored their opponents now 14-0 through 3 matches so far. They put up 7 on Kings Hammer, whom held Indy to a goal. Indy, when they played St. Charles, won by a score of 8-0. And so that is why, yes, there's the natural rivalry between Indy and Louisville, but frankly, it is why we are placing such importance on this match. And Brad, these 2 teams will see each other again in Louisville coming up in just 4 days.
Yeah, this is a crazy 5-day span here where likely this division gets settled here in the next 5 days.
Well, let's talk about this Indy 11 squad. First of all, some of the returning players from a season ago. One of the players automatically stands out is Katie Soderstrom, the native of Carmel and now graduate of Butler University. She exited Butler, tied for 4th in school history in goals scored, 2nd in assists, both with more than 30. Again, the decision kind of last summer was going to be, does she go the education route to become a teacher? She can go the professional soccer route. For now, the answer is the latter, which is why she is back here for a 2nd year, hoping to latch on with a team in Europe once this season is over.
Yeah, dynamic player, and certainly made her mark last season and is following it up this year.
Some of the other returnees that you see on your screen: Grace Barr is back for a 2nd season. Ella Rogers is back for a 2nd season. Same can be said for both Nana Reason in goal and Cassidy Lindley. And yes, that is Cam Lindley's sister. Both Lindley members wearing number 6 for the Indy 11 men's and women's side. We'll take this quick timeout. When we come back, starting lineups, opening kickoff, and more. This is match number 4 of the season, but it's the first at home, and it's crucial in terms of the lone playoff spot out of the Valley Division. Indy 11, Racing Louisville Academy. It's yours next on the ISC Sports Network and 11 Sports.
For over a century, Indiana has been the destination for sports innovation and the state where champions are crowned. Now, we're entering a new era with Sports Tech HQ, a place that inspires innovation and invests in entrepreneurs who are changing the game, one startup at a time. Welcome to the crossroads of sports and technology. Sports Tech HQ, home of the game changers.
It's very true that it takes a village to raise a child. And when it comes to my healthcare village at Community Health Network, it's all nestled right in my phone. Accessing healthcare is the ability to be connected with your provider and ask a question when you need it. I feel like when I'm meeting with a community nurse practitioner or doctor, they're tuned in to what is going on with me and the way that they can serve me best.
Stand by me. And the winner of the Indianapolis 500.
Indiana, winning is in our DNA. winning the future with $22 billion in new business investment, building an economy of the future with unprecedented momentum. Indiana, for the winners.
At Masters Heating and Cooling, we dedicate ourselves to serving our community with professional service and groundbreaking home comfort solutions, keeping each and every customer comfortable in their homes all year round, which is why we offer financing options, perks, and coupons to each of our customers. Like our apples to apples price match guarantee. We'll meet or beat any heating and cooling system replacement offer. So what are you waiting for? Pick up the phone or visit our website to learn more about Masters Heating and Cooling's money-saving offers and other unique special promotions.
We are moments away from the home opener again, including tonight. 5 of the 7 regular season matches remaining will be here at the Grand Park Indoor Event Center. We'll have all 5 of them for you on ISC next Friday night. Then we'll have 2 on Father's Day weekend, one Thursday the 15th, one Sunday the 18th, and the regular season finale will be played here on June 30th. There are more playoff teams. The league has expanded from 44 teams a year ago to in the 60s in terms of teams this year. There are more playoff spots, but last year our division, which included more Michigan-based teams as well last year, was eligible for a wild card. Ended up not happening. It was just the Indy 11 that won the division with 10 wins, 2 draws, and 12 matches played. Went on to lose to the eventual runners-up in the league championship in Minnesota Aurora in the lone playoff match for the Indy 11. But we know with a 5-team division, you have to win your division, which means tonight almost has the feel of a must-win for an Indy 11 team that is yet to be scored upon this year.
Well, you say the same thing with
Absolutely.
Racing Louisville.
Yep.
You know, something changes tonight. Both teams unscored on, both teams unbeaten. Feels like a title fight tonight, Ray.
Frankly, the goal is to find a way to get 4 points out of the next 6. That way you know you've got the tiebreaker advantage with a lot of season left to go. We showed you the starting lineup graphic for the Indy 11 women. Some notables that we'll share with you for Racing Louisville. Sam Castaneda is their starting goalkeeper. She plays her college soccer in this state. She is the starter at Purdue Fort Wayne in the Horizon League. Autumn Weeks that starts for Racing Louisville. She played at IUPUI. Autumn's in your screen there in front of Sam as we're showing you that picture. She now plays at the University of Louisville. This is Autumn's second year of playing for the Racing Louisville Academy. But also of note is Jordan Rhodes. Jordan, 36 goals in 4 years at Kentucky. This is the second straight year she has played in the Indy 11 home opener because last year she played for Kings Hammer. So many of these players are of kind of a similar level. You've got many players that are currently in college, but several that are either a year or a semester removed from college, and this is their chance to continue to pursue their professional dreams, whether it's in the NWSL, the Super League in a year, or overseas. We are underway for the first of 5 times this month of June here inside of Grand Park in Westfield. Thank you so much for joining us on ISC and 11 Sports. Hear that familiar drum of the Brickyard Battalion in the background. There's one thing that is unique about tonight's match, and this is the first time that it has happened over the course of the last 2 summers. This is the first time that the Indy 11 women and men have played simultaneously. We'll talk more about that in a moment. Long ball opportunity here. Quickly swept away by Chatterton for the Indy 11. Lindley could not get back in time. Throw in coming for Racing Louisville here in the opening minute.
Yeah, terrific ball over the top. Indy had a high back line. Cotella saw it, dropped it over the top.
And the Indy 11 men are playing at the Charleston Battery at 7:30. We had days last year where the 2 teams played the same day, but not at the same time. So, of course, we will keep you abreast of what is happening down in the Low Country tonight as well. Watson, the defender for Indy. We'll watch that ball trickle across the end line. That was Sam Agresti that was the closest player to it. She plays at Boston College. So not a reason will put this ball back into play. She was a backup last year that played in 1 match for the Indy 11 in goal. She is originally from Southern California and came here to Noblesville, played her high school soccer towards the tail end of her high school days for Noblesville. She played this year at the University of North Carolina, which obviously that's a mouthful in itself, talking about women's soccer. If you're going to play for that program, she did not appear in a match for the Tar Heels this year. It's her second match and goal for Indy this season. Opportunity on the outside of the 18. Ball sent in. Knocked forward by Hal Hirschfeld, but not on frame. Castaneda is able to watch it go by. And a goal kick coming for Racing Louisville. Hirschfeld, one of the new names on the Indy 11 roster this year. Now played her collegiate soccer at Clemson. She was teammates with Cassidy Lindley, who gets the start tonight up top for Paul Dolinsky's team.
And you look at the press from the front three, you've got your two wings that are trying to force play down the middle. They're coming to the outsides, looking at forcing play down the middle. So you like what you see. There's a bit of organization in this press.
Throwing coming for the visitors from Louisville. This is the Academy team, the W League Academy team, the Racing Louisville program that is in the NWSL. Of course, they play their games as the NWSL squad at Lynn Family Stadium. These two teams did face each other last year. He got the better of the matchup. Mackenzie Wood was amazing in the get-together in the Louisville suburbs when these two teams played a year ago. They will play again in 4 days.
Interesting, you know, a turnover off the press. You had your wing forwards forcing play in the middle. Center back now has some space to carry the ball, carries it, gets a little bit lost with where to play that ball, and then it's a turnover in the middle of the park.
Throwing coming. Soderstrom with a touch. This Indy 11 team pulled the full points from every home match last year. Foul called against Racing Louisville. 5 matches played in this building, including the debut performance in the history of the W League. A May 6, 2022 victory against Kings Hammer. 11 women did play 1 match against Detroit City that took place at Carroll Stadium. That will not happen again this year. The Indy 11 women will play all their regular season matches here inside the Indoor Event Center. Rhodes trying to carve out some space for Racing Louisville. Could not do it. And to the back for a spell of possession for the Indy 11. That was Aaliyah Martin that had the ball at her feet. She is, again, a new face to the Indy 11, but not new to the soccer community here. Foul whistled against Indy. Foul drawn by Brooke Dardano. Dardano, one of a couple of University of Louisville players on this Racing Louisville side. Indy 11 has their fair share of University of Louisville talent here as well.
I've got one of my former assistants is the associate head coach at U of L for the women.
And that would be?
Nick Sterrett, fantastic, fantastic coach.
Addie Chester and Carson Cherry were on the team last year. Carson will be on the Indy 11 squad this year. She is kind of recovering from an injury, but she was a very highly sought after recruit by the University of Louisville. And frankly, a key piece of Indy's summer success a season ago. Trying to build from the back is Indy. Here's Martin. Martin played for Angela Barry White at Rebuff Jesuit High School before embarking on a very successful career at the University of Michigan. Leah 1 year removed from her collegiate playing days in Ann Arbor. Hirschfeld.
You got to like the way Hirschfeld's playing. She's just popping into little seams, little gaps when the back line gets in trouble, looking at being a release valve for them.
Here's Watson making the run towards the middle of the park. She played her college soccer at Pepperdine. Now charging forward, Krizula. Krizula back for her second year with the Indy 11. She is Australian that plays at VCU. Rhodes had to flatten out a run. She couldn't latch onto this one. This will roll all the way towards the corner flag and eventually out of play for an Indy 11 throw. So we're 6 minutes in, and it's been awfully even so far, which is frankly about what we expected. You see Paul Dolinsky on your screen. His second year as the man in charge of this Indy 11 women's team. See several returning names and faces. Ask for a handball. It's going to be throw in regardless for Indy. And Paulie went to school on last year, and You know, as the year went along, again, the season for Indy started a little bit earlier last year, but frankly carried on a little bit later in terms of regular season play. And good players, other commitments had to get back to their college campus. So I'm pretty sure Paulie has signed up about half of Marion County to be on the roster this year.
He has got, and they're all talented too.
It's a rather sizable group that he has put together. To make the 18, you have to be something special.
Great step.
You've got a mixture of, again, players who are just removed from college looking for that professional chance. This is their opportunity to kind of that bridge to keep their careers going. Players that are in college now. I think we are missing one soccer ball here. This might be a while, kids. It's stuck. We may have the tightest table skirt in town that has gobbled up a soccer ball over there. We'll figure it out at some point. But to finish the thought, one thing that the Indy 11 have done is they have gotten a little bit older on a couple of different fronts on their roster. They have invited several players who are, you know, somewhere in their 20s or even early 30s that were very good college players or potentially pro players to kind of come back and play at this level. Ball sent forward here, Castaneda able to gobble it up. Soderstrom wasn't close enough to really make a difference on that one. And a reset coming here for the visitors from Louisville. Because at the end of last season, we saw some teenagers getting some major minutes. I don't think that will be the case this time around. It's a bit of an older group. Opportunity here, 3v3 at the back. Good recovery by Grace Barr. And Barr, who actually spent time with Racing Louisville trying to make the NWSL squad a couple of years ago, was a player coach last year for the Indy 11. Grace hustling back to make the play. Here's Rhodes. You know you've had a pretty good college career when you have 6 goals your senior year, and that's the worst scoring output you've had in 4 years.
Well, you know, after 3 years of being that dominant, you're on every scouting report.
No doubt. Those autumn weeks trying to hold things up outside of the 18. She played for my good friend Chris Johnson for many years at IUPUI. Peoria, Illinois native, now plays at the University of Louisville. In her second year playing for the Racing Academy. Krasula. Good build from the back here. Trying to find Soderstrom. Soderstrom has one defender attached to her. That's Grace Pettit. Soderstrom the lead. Lindley gives it a hit.
Good hit.
But never threatened the frame as Castaneda watches it go by. Goal kick coming for Racing Louisville here in minute number 10. Tonight's match presented in part by our friends at Community Health Sports Medicine. Exceptional care simply delivered. And read by Watson. Watson able to play that ball off of Sam Agresti. Have a hit from distance. Goes up and over the bar.
It's a good strike. It's a good strike. You take a look at Indy. They are very comfortable, very confident, making Racing Louisville have to use the middle of the field to build out of the back.
By the way, if you're wondering why the taped on uprights behind the goals here, well, this field, as you can tell from the number of lines, serves many purposes. It's going to be a foul against the Indy 11. Players haven't heard it yet, but they'll eventually bring it back to this spot to resume play. But of the many things that take place on this field number 2, this is the indoor training home of the Indianapolis Colts during training camp. They'll be here for about 3 weeks from late July through early August. There's even youth football that gets played in here that we televised, I think, 12 games of a youth football tournament on ISC here over Halloween weekend, so this facility gets plenty of use. Of course, the Indy 11 men train here on a full-time basis. Coach's office are at the and player locker rooms kind of at the northwest corner of the facility. Opportunity here. Agresti.
Good movement.
At the edge of the 18. Have a hit from distance. Just didn't get much on it. Shot was taken by Sabina Zambarini.
Tell you, that's 2 dangerous opportunities for Racing Louisville with the ball over the top for Linehan.
Knocked forward by one of the new names and faces for the Indy 11. Kana Masuhisa. She is from Tokyo. She plays her college soccer at VCU. This is an Indy 11 program that has a lot of kids from Central Indiana, but you'll see some connections. And if you have success with a player at one college, she's going to tell her teammates, hey, I had a great experience here. Come join me for the summer in Indianapolis.
That is the way recruiting works. Sometimes it's a sibling, sometimes it's a club teammate.
How many Kellers you have play for you at DePaul University?
How many what?
How many Kellers you have play for you? Just a few.
Well, Kellers, Schoenfelds.
Opportunity here.
Ball.
Onside. Soderstrom has a teammate. Defenders recovering. Soderstrom to the end line, plays it across. Corner coming. First corner of the match comes for the Indy 11. This past minute, number 13.
Great ball over the top. Soderstrom gets it. Hirschfeld's making a late run into the box. You got, it's 50-50, 6-1, half dozen the other. Do you take the isolated defender on in 1v1? Do you lay that ball back to the top of the 18?
It's Watson that will come up and take the trip to the corner flag. So might be missing one important ingredient, the ball. First game for the ball kids, too. See Mark Grainda from the Indy 11 PR staff. There to provide the best pictures for the social media and website experience. So Watson spent 5 balls playing at Pepperdine to send this in. Good looking service here. Ball was headed by a Racing Louisville player, so it'll be an Indy 11 throw in from just next to the corner flag. Krasula gave it a chase, but now she'll back out of it. Castaneda, the netminder at Purdue Fort Wayne. Had a chance to see her in the Horizon League semifinals on ESPN Plus back in November. Several chances on the cutback. Now to Aaliyah Martin for safety. Led Rebuff Jesuit High School to the 2015 state championship. Opportunity here. Masuhisa. Bottom Weeks are to sweep it away. At least get it back to Watson. Watson has a hit. I don't think there was a touch there. Goal kick coming. The first really kind of extended spell of possession for Indy in the attacking third against Racing Louisville. Great job by our camera operator that is low. Aaron Van Wolde, thanks to he, Eric Kinnett, Jordan Shue, Rob Lynch, and David Kahn. Our broadcast crew tonight from the ISC Sports Network. Weeks, an outstanding run going. He's part of an IUPUI program for a couple of years that was amongst the best in the Horizon League. Milwaukee is the tops in the league, but IUPUI kind of one of the few programs that has given them a battle over years gone by. A couple of Autumn's former teammates at IUPUI. Part of the, cornucopia of stars that Paul Dolinsky has put together for his roster this year. Maya Lacagnato, who's going to transfer to Kentucky. And Sam Slimick also on this Indy 11 roster. Long diagonal ball, good read by Chatterton to get in the way. Chatterton going to play kind of an Ioze / Mark Lowry left back role. That's a men's reference, so you don't follow the men's team. Because Chatterton has speed to burn, the Noblesville native. Plays at the University of Tennessee.
Hey, great job from Indy. They got 6 in this pocket back behind the ball. There was just no place for the ball to go.
So throw in coming. Weeks will take it for the Racing Louisville Academy. Good find. Soderstrom. Bit of a giveaway, but a quick recovery. Long distance ball, trying to carve out some space. Handball, though, is going to be the call. Chatterton the read for Indy. Chatterton entering her junior season at Tennessee in the fall. She's played in 8 matches in each of her first 2 years with the Volunteers. Former Indiana Miss Soccer is Jenna at Noblesville High School. Good win by Hirschfeld. Taken right back by Racing Louisville. These two teams match together virtually step for step here in the opening 18 minutes. Giveaway here.
Tough
Mistake
ball
by Martin. Trying to hold it up. Rhodes again trying to plow forward. Her SEC rival in Chatterton step to the forefront.
A good transitional moment for Indy.
Atsuhisa
Had it.
sliding tackle by Weeks, got the ball first, and it will be off Indy 11. And now we'll come back and check on the player as Watson took a tumble. Weeks did get the ball first. You've seen that called at times, but referee will say, hey, Weeks made contact, ball first, get away with that, take a look. And I can see that going either way, but I can certainly live with that from a consistency standpoint of, hey, you get the ball first, you're okay. I think both sides will accept that going forward. In this portion of this match, brought to us by our friends at Community Health Network. Exceptional care, simply delivered. And that'll be a foul against the Indy 11. That's going to be a card. So first card of the match goes against Indy. Greta Krizula will be the guilty party.
Yeah, you know, I could see it because it's a pretty quick transitional opportunity for Racing Louisville, but you got 3 defenders back behind the ball. I don't know that we need to pull a card there.
How good is Greta Krizula? Well, Australia called her up for the Women's U20 World Cup last year. That's how talented she is. Standing over this ball for Racing Louisville is Corey Dyke. Corey plays at Penn State. Looking back post, Reason, no problem. Mackenzie Wood was the primary goalkeeper last year. Donna got in 1 match. Kate Phillips, who just completed her senior year at Cathedral on her way to Missouri, also got a match in goal last year for the Indy 11. There are a couple of current Missouri players on this Racing Louisville squad. Trying the long distance ball. Lindley was the target. Hirschfeld, good takeaway. Sports this match is brought to us by Alpha Health and Wellness, the official team chiropractor for the Indy 11 women. Good looking ball forward here. Flag was up, yep. We are located in a broadcast position where we can't see that linesman from our elevated spot, but there was some pretty clear space between attacker and defender. That was an offside flag.
Great build-up. Ball, the run just happened a little bit early. The ball comes to Hirschfeld, checks her shoulder. There's nobody on. She turns it, takes the space, and delivers a through ball.
Ball hopping high off the turf. And Chatterton with the read, couldn't clear it. Good work at the edge of the 18 again. No need for Hirschfeld to have a grab there. Great read by Reason. Fantastic. A little contact there, but she seems to be all right.
Yeah, good, great quickness off her line. Good read, good quickness.
Well, clearly Indy is trying to instigate from that right back on that long diagonal ball. Brad, are you seeing those opportunities as well?
Well, we've had a couple of really dangerous moments, and both of them have been balls over the top into the corner. So they're trying to reach it both from the opposite back and the strong side back.
Well, speaking of a dangerous moment, Krizula just took a foul, and she's already sitting on a yellow. But now you're going to get a look just outside of the 18 for Racing Louisville. This will be a nervy moment here midway through the opening half. Corey Dyke, Brooke Dardano debating as to who's going to get the look here. Corey Dyke gives it a go, and again, I think Racing Louisville would like to have that one back.
You're so frustrated by that as a coach because you take a look at where it's lined up, and you know this is going to be a battle all night. And when you get an opportunity like that, it has to be more dangerous.
Jonathan Rice over there in the front row of the Brickyard Battalion. He has one of the taller buildings in Hamilton County by just being here this evening. Ball knocked forward. That's onside. Can Soderstrom sneak behind? She can. Has a hit. And it was last touched by Indy 11. So that was well defended by Racing Louisville to hustle back. Soderstrom, she and Maddie Williams both had double-digit goals in 13 matches played for the Indy 11 last year. Maddie's still a part of the team, but that real-life job that Maddie has is getting a little bit more in the way.
Yeah, those do get in the way. You take a look at a couple things here in this build. You found Soderstrom over the top, and that's effective because Lindley is sitting back sometimes and pulling Cutella with her, opening up that 1v1 opportunity for Soderstrom.
Flag went up. Both teams have seen the flag go up. Paul Dolinsky having a conversation with Ella Rogers. Ella, one of the players back for a second year with the Indy 11. Al Hirschfeld getting a little quick word of advice from Paulie also.
And what a job he's done. There's a few things as a coach when you're building a team. One, you got to be a good talent evaluator. Checks the box on that. You got to be able to train them correctly so that they're all on the same page. Checks the box on that. And then the players have to execute. And that comes from the way that you train them. That comes from the environments that you put them in through their training minutes.
Indy 11 literally has lost one match since they were put together, and that was in the playoffs at Minnesota Aurora last year. In regular season play, Paul's record as the women's head coach for the Indy 11, 13 wins, 2 draws, and no losses. Hirschfeld. Chatterton. Krasula. Knocked forward. Soderstrom. And that will be a corner. Yep.
And you look, it builds through Hirschfeld. It moves around the back line. It opens up. Racing Louisville's chasing. She's popping into the gaps, pull the ball off the back line. When she's unpressed, she turns and looks to find the channel going forward.
I said Soderstrom. That was Ella Rogers. My fault on that. Ella's in her second year with the Indy 11, plays at Xavier. How about this stat, Brad? They played in 2 NCAA tournament matches. She scored in both of them for the Musketeers, did Ella Rogers.
Big-time players. They perform in big moments.
There's Trinity Watson. Sends it in. Hirschfeld got a good look, but couldn't keep it on frame. She really was unmarked. Perfect service, perfect look, just could not steer it down. Could have been 1-0 for the Indy 11. Outstanding crowd on hand. We got fans lighting both sides of this facility. The turnout for all the matches last year was just tremendous. It was amazing to hear the players and Coach Dolinsky talk about they couldn't talk to each other during the opener last year because it was so loud in the building. That's awesome. Another giveaway in the back by Indy. And a couple of too many of those from the home fan perspective. On the diagonal ball, trying to find a pocket of space. Grace Barr got in the way. Lindley applying pressure here. If nothing else, looking to try to get a corner, and they do. So corner coming for Racing Louisville in minute number 27. The BYB will try to pick things up a little bit. Short corner. Trying to work a little give and go here. Ball sent in with the left foot. Indy got there first. Weeks will reset. Corey Dyke. Right idea, good combination play. Rhodes the lead. Do you have a hit from distance here? The answer right now is no. That was Linehan that elected to kind of hang on to it. Thought she might send it in from 20. Good close.
Love it. Love that high side double. First defender there just contains play. Player from the top doubles it on the high side, doesn't allow the play out.
Soderstrom almost.
She thought about it. She thought about it.
She's always thinking about it. Playing for the legendary Frank Dixon at Carmel High School. Katie went 4 years without losing a conference game in her years at Carmel. Good looking ball here against Chatterton. Squares. At least bought a little real estate. The racing starting to camp out a little bit at this end of the park now. Krasula the recovery. And we'll sweep this one just back to midfield for a reset. Indy kind of chased the game a little bit, which is an experience they have not gone through so far this year. Aaliyah Martin whistled for a foul.
I think, you know, when you look at all of the different lessons you learn from each match, that Kings Hammer match was a great one, because, you know, you come through a 7-0 win, you come through a 3-0, it was 3-0 at halftime, so it wasn't like they were pressed at any point in there. You go through that kind of a battle, that's great preparation for an opportunity like tonight.
Kings Hammer was one of the locations where Indy did not pull the full 3 points last year, played to a 0-0 draw. Kings Hammer a bit of a younger team, but a very well-coached team. Opportunity here at the edge of the 18. Have a hit, but again, goes directly at Nana Reason.
If you're racing Louisville, you're looking at the build and the opportunities that you're getting on your right side.
Again, a giveaway. Rhodes, great tackle. Absolutely got the ball first. Matsahisa, great turn.
What a turn. My goodness.
Knocks it forward. This is Ella Rogers. Rogers trying to launch up on the counter. Sends it in. Racing takes a moment to kind of recollect. There'll be a goal kick coming. And with that, we want to thank one of our new sponsors on both the ISC Sports Network as well as with the Indy 11. Our friends at Masters Heating and Cooling. Masters gets there faster. Find out more at mastersheatcool.com or give them a call, 866-844-HEATS. We talked about this in the open of the broadcast. I think these two teams are of the idea of, hey, you're going to find a way to get 4 points against the other, these next two. Right now, action being dictated by the visitors. And the return date coming up on Tuesday night. Martin. Krasula. Grace Barr will lead the charge going forward. And Chatterton just turns on the afterburners. Even though she couldn't control that touch, that was the first example of that speed that we have talked about.
And great play by Grace Barr. She looks straight at her, holds the defender into that space to allow her to get in and play that angled ball in for her to run onto.
Giveaway here. Soderstrom. Rogers. The two rivals in the Big East at Xavier and Butler, but teammates now for a second season with the Indy 11. Good cut back by Hirschfeld. Has Lindley to her left. The two Clemson teammates. Lindley, right idea, couldn't get it through. It will be a corner here in minute number 32. Lindley has been affected by a knee injury. She did not play at all in the fall of 2021. Because of that, played limited minutes for this team last year. But because she played in the opening match, she and her brother Cam became the forever answer to a trivia question. Named the first brother-sister combo to play in the USL.
The Lindleys.
Well done.
Thank you.
Thanks for picking up what I was putting down. Watson will send it in. Ball knocked forward, back post, and oh my goodness. That's the run of play has been dictated by Racing Louisville. The corners have been the opportunities for Indy, and they're 0 for 2 at converting a couple of sitters. Simply knock this ball down and you got it. And scoring goals has not been a problem for either side. 14 so far by Racing Louisville. Matsahisa, great effort. No, I don't agree nothing in that.
Yeah, just stepped on the ball.
Exactly, yep, I thought that was no contact. That was stepping on a round object.
Great decision to recognize a moment to press.
Weeks and Martin. And Weeks clearly got the better of that. Let's hope that Aaliyah is all right. And I mean, we heard that. It's directly below our broadcast location. Gives kind of everybody a chance to catch their breath just a little bit. Let's hope that Aaliyah is all right. Both sides with a full complement of substitutes if need be. Racing Louisville will take the chance to huddle up. Have not seen a trainer kind of waved on here for Indy. Martin taking a moment. And now Racing Louisville is told, hey, all right, your brief break is over. We'll resume action. Take a look at this collision. So restart, a quick one. Matsahisa sends it in, and again Castaneda cuts it off.
Yeah, great little move to get her wrong-footed, allow a little bit of opportunity to separate and deliver the ball across.
Quick score update from the men's match on a second Aiden Quinn penalty of the season. The Indy 11 have a 1-0 lead at Patriots Point against the Charleston Battery. That match is on Watch ESPN. We don't blame if you want to go watch that match, it's okay. But if you want to wait until this one is done to go watch it, that's also acceptable.
Computer and TV. Get one on TV, one on the computer.
Go.
Or phone and computer.
Go Elvis style, multiple screens. Foul whistle against Racing Louisville. Savina Zambarini, the guilty party on that. So that's experience we have here. We are broadcasting one match and just pulled up the boys in red tonight down in South Carolina. I loved the picture, by the way, on social of Solomon Asante and Katie Soderstrom.
Isn't that great?
Shared by the team. And their matching blue checkers opportunity
great
here.
Run.
Lead for Soderstrom. Knocks it forward, Matsahisa. Has Soderstrom and Lindley. Great job by Weeks. Castaneda couldn't get there in time. It'll be a corner coming. And again, this is where Indy has generated their best looks, have been on the corner.
Yeah, and you would have loved to seen Matsuhisha serve that ball a little bit quicker. Great job by Weeks to recover, close it down.
It's been Watson that has sent the service from the opposite corner. Will not be the case this time. Grace Barr will deliver it in. Barr plays it short. But the offside flag goes up. So a hitch in the giddy up that time for the Indy 11. Well, this reminder, fans, that tomorrow morning we'll have Soccer Saturday for you on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. And whom we'll have on, I have no earthly idea, because it is based on what happens in this match and the other match we're monitoring down in Charleston, South Carolina. So a TBD edition.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, Brad thinks that stands for the bald dude, but a TBD edition of Soccer Saturday tomorrow on 93.5 and 107.5.
Yeah, so if it's TBD, I might need to get ready for that then.
I did interview about 11 Park on Wednesday. That might make a command appearance on the show.
So the bald dude will make an appearance.
It's 50-50. We'll keep you posted. But if you do, it will not be live. It'll be memorized. It'll be a best of. You've done your part.
I'm always
You've
better
done your
edited.
part for the cause by not only being on The Ride with JMV, hosted by yours truly, as you would call me the other broadcaster on Wednesday, and other various and sundry things. It's been a busy month for the Indy 11, that's for sure. We'll let Brad talk about those things at halftime. Balls in the air, headed down, and that's a goal. Reason could not get there in time. Racing Louisville gets the goal. It's Jordan Rhodes and scores it. And Indy has given up a goal for the first time this season. 1-0 Racing Louisville here in the 39th minute.
Great serve, great win by Rhodes. Reason kind of got caught half between coming out and staying back.
Now once you commit, you got to go all the way through. She kind of cut it off in mid-stride, and when she didn't get there, that's it. So again, Rhodes with 36 goals in 4 years at the University of Kentucky. She has played in this building before. Scores the goal in Racing Louisville. Looking for the road 3 points tonight. Matsuhisa knocks it forward. Soderstrom tries to cut it back. Rogers gives chase.
And it was incredible that she kept the ball in play.
It's the first goal that Indy has allowed this season. Racing Louisville has still yet to allow a goal this season. Now, simply put, we think these are two of the better teams in the entire league, let alone in this division. Yet only one of them will play in the postseason. And stealing a road 3 points tonight puts a world of pressure on Indy.
Oh my goodness.
To go down and do the same on Tuesday.
Yeah, when you look at the talent for these two teams and know that only one of them is going to make it into the postseason, that's incredible.
But such is the nature of a pre-professional league, of a summer league, when you've got a minimum amount of time to get games in. Can't go too deep in terms of how many playoff teams. That's such is life. So first things first for Indy, trying to get one back. Ball knocked forward. Chatterton gives chase. To the byline, and that'll be a corner. Well done.
The third time in the first 40 minutes that really good things have come through Linehan with that ball, that early ball over the top.
By the way, in the Indy 11 men's match, Indy is going to play the entirety of the match, barring something calamitous on their end, with a man advantage. Charleston playing with 10. A penalty that took place in the second minute. Service sent in. Reason.
Oh, great.
Yep.
Great collection. It's one of the toughest things mentally as a goalkeeper when the goal goes in the way that it did, to then come out and command your box like she just did. Great ball by Reason.
Shank by Louisville, which basically played Indy onside, but could not track it down. Look at Nana Reason's work.
This is unbelievable. In that kind of traffic, have that kind of confidence, come out and collect that ball.
And she has played at such a high level as a youth. If you don't get to play in a match for the University of North Carolina, to train in that program every day, but you're certainly match ready.
Oh, he's incredible. Incredible coach.
And Barr has to hustle back with Rhodes bearing down. Reason to play this with her feet. We want to thank our friends at Alpha Health and Wellness, the official team chiropractor of the Indy 11 women. Good job by Martin. Soderstrom had it timed, just couldn't get the pass. Now Watson will join in the attack. Watson sends it in, and that will be another corner coming.
Yeah, great run by Rogers, great ball. You looked at that play before, Soderstrom. Weeks had pulled up a little bit. She was just kind of sitting in that pocket, waiting to see if a ball would get delivered in for her.
Was Barr from the corner flag in this side last time. It's going to be Grace again. Grace, one of the returning stalwarts from last year's team, led the team in minutes played a year ago. Played collegially both at Xavier and Wisconsin. Back post, and Martin got ahead to it first, but couldn't control it. Goal kick coming for Castaneda and Racing Louisville Academy. If you're Paul Dolinsky, what are you kind of going to work on at halftime and in half number 2?
Well, you look at how dangerous Racing Louisville's been on that right side with the early ball. You got to be careful to make sure that you've got that protected. And then the interplay that they've been having at the top of the box, the combination that they've done to create openings and to create opportunities for them has been pretty dangerous as well.
But corner coming.
I do like those times that Lindley holds back a little bit, draws their right back up, and then Soderstrom is in a 1v1 for that ball that's over the top for Indy.
Dardano will send this one in. She had the assist on the earlier goal. Reason, well done. Whistle was blown, but Reason had things handled well. I would say we're looking at maybe a couple of minutes of added time before we get to our halftime break. Linehan. Rhodes. Good job by Krasula. But everything's been about corners and the counter so far for the Indy 11. Possession, and I'm not sure what we won't have really a possession stat for you in terms of halftime stats, post-game analysis, etc. But frankly, it's been controlled by the visitors. Racing Louisville, the NWSL Academy program. These are all players that play at the major college level. But obviously it is a great chance for them to be seen by an NWSL team. Chatterton. 2 minutes as expected. Blast, deflects off of Barr. Reason, great hustle. Great read. Save what would have been another corner coming. The battles in the midfield are being won right now by Racing Louisville's Academy side. I get the feeling that Paul Dolinsky's team is looking for a regroup at this point.
And this ball here is the one that's been causing Indy problems, and you can see that they're starting to drop numbers back into that pocket to try and defend it with more bodies, and that's leaving them less opportunities to press up top.
Good look here. A seam to work with. Flying down the flank. That was Linehan. But just ran out of real estate.
Wow, what a
nice bit of skill here. That draws the attention of the fans. Cuts around Weeks. Now can she find a teammate? Soderstrom. Krasula. Hirschfeld. One touch, maybe either too many or too strong. As we watch this throw-in, we'll also see maybe a glance towards the wristwatch. No need for a throw-in, that's it. Well, credit Racing Louisville. We knew this would be a heavyweight fight. It has been, and the visitors have had the better of it. The only goal belongs to Jordan Rhodes of the visitors. Again, she had 36 goals in her days at the University of Kentucky. Through the first half here at the Grand Park Indoor Event Center, it is Racing Louisville 1 and the Indy 11 0. Stay tuned. Halftime coverage comes your way next as you're watching Indy 11 Women's Soccer here on the ISC Sports Network and 11 Sports.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
I'm a happy-go-lucky guy, but sometimes I get a little stressed because I'm not for sure what's going to happen down the road. I was at the cancer unit, and when I come out from seeing the doctor, I said something about needing some help with all the paperwork. They gave me a name and a phone number. Her name is Molly. She works over at Community. She tells me, stop worrying, let me take care of it. She is my angel.
Stand by me.
For over a century, Indiana has been the destination for sports innovation and the state where champions are crowned. Now, we're entering a new era with Sports Tech HQ, a place that inspires innovation and invests in entrepreneurs who are changing the game, one startup at a time. Welcome to the crossroads of sports and technology. Sports Tech HQ, home of the game changers.
Back inside the Grand Park Indoor Event Center, the home of at least 5 Indy 11 women's matches this season. Again, a massive match early in the year in terms of playoff implications, and it's the visitors from Louisville on a Jordan Rhodes goal that have a 1-0 lead. Greg Rakestraw, Brad Hodder with you. Brad, overall, your thoughts on the opening 45 minutes?
I think it's a battle that we both anticipated. It's going to be interesting to see not just the response in the second half from both teams, but mentally what happens to the team that comes out of here with a loss, because that puts massive pressure on you in 4 days to go and reciprocate in the next match.
What changes from a tactics standpoint might you expect to see from Paul Dolinsky's team?
Well, I think you got to figure out the Linehan problem. There's too many opportunities are coming down that right side, either played through for her or played over the top, and her pace and her ability on the ball is causing all sorts of problems. So there's 2 ways you deal with that. Either you got to be in a position where you can beat her to the ball, or you got to deny the serves into her, and that comes from pressure up top. When you start dropping players like they were doing later in the half to kind of front her and back her, now that takes the pressure away from the server, and they can kind of pick and choose when to play through, when to play over the top, when to play to feet. So I think that's one problem that's got to be dealt with. I love the opportunities that have been coming for Soderstrom up on the left side, and I think in those 1v1 isolations, just be a little bit quicker to take the player off the dribble.
All right, so with that, we'll kind of take the next couple minutes to talk about current events with the Indy 11. If you will, let's work our way back. It was now a little more than 2 days ago that you were at a fancy groundbreaking ceremony for the Indy 11, and a day that frankly has even been talked about before the Indy 11 ever kicked a ball in anger. But the groundbreaking took place on Wednesday on May 31st for 11 Park, which will be the home of both the Indy 11 men and women at some point in time in 2025. What was that day like?
Unreal. You know, I mean, you and I have been a part of this organization for a decade right now, and that talk has been from the very beginning that we're going to build towards this. We'll build towards this. And every time there's been some momentum, something like COVID's popped up and set everything back. So to have this 10-year vision actually start to come to life I mentioned it to you on the radio the other day. It was just surreal. It was absolutely surreal to see this next chapter start to develop.
And for those of you watching from the Louisville perspective, you know how big of a difference having Lynn Family Stadium has made for your now franchises. Men's in the USL Championship, women's in the NWSL, having a secondary, a younger women's team here in the W League, and frankly, that's the exact direction that the Indy 11 are heading. Now, we show you that sign that says the official training center of the Indy 11, and yes, both the men and women train here. The academy program is based out of here, and last week was the academy news that the Indy 11 will have a team that competes in the top level of girls academy soccer in this country in the ECNL. The boys will have a team in MLS Next, in addition to staying and playing in the USL Academy League and the USL Academy Cup. Again, Brad, what does that mean for young players in the state of Indiana?
If you're a young player and you want to go pro, the path has, right now, it's been lit. You don't have to guess. This is how you get into the system. This is how you work your way up into the system. And the great part about it, you talk about the Racing Louisville W League team and how it fills into the NWSL team. You don't take chances with players. You've got this opportunity to work with them for months, for years, to really understand their character, what makes them tick, what their motivations are. They get to understand the culture of the club. So now when they get into that level where they're signing a pro contract, nobody's making a guess. At this point, you know each other.
And now let's bring it back to the league that you are watching. When the USLW League was launched, it was always launched as kind of a start, knowing there was another step in the path that needed to take place. When the W League was first started, the Super League was almost announced simultaneously. It was first announced it was going to be a Division II league. Well, in the last year, that has changed. It will now be a Division I, a Tier 1 league. It'll begin in 8 markets in 2024. The expectation is that the Indy 11 will join for year number 2 in 2025. Again, I want to point out, it's going to be an August to May league. It's going to follow the FIFA calendar. So it'll be a little bit offset from both the NWSL, but also as it pertains to the Indy 11 men, the USL Championship, which means there will be soccer year-round, albeit with a brief winter break, we assume, at 11 Park. So knowing that this team has been so well received in 2 years, 2 years from now, there will be a professional Indy 11 women's team.
12 months of professional soccer, Rakes. Are you kidding me? And look at that fan base. Look at the fans right across from here. This is a reward for them, continuing to show up, continuing to support this club. Now we're going to have the highest level of women's professional soccer in the United States here in Indy.
8 markets were announced as terms of year number 1, which will be next August. Indy amongst 5 markets that has said we're in, pending stadium completion. Well, again, stadium construction literally started 48 hours ago in terms of the ceremonial groundbreaking. So the hope is that 2 years from now, Indy 11 women are playing professionally. And frankly, some of the same players you're seeing tonight are playing on that team a couple of years from now. We'll take this quick time out. When we come back again. Highlights of half number 1, thoughts before half number 2. At the break, it is Racing Louisville looking to do something that no team has done in 2 years. Come to this building and win. They lead the Indy 11 1-0 as you're watching on the ISC Sports Network and 11 Sports.
And the winner of the Indianapolis 500.
Indiana, winning is in our DNA. And we're winning the future with $22 billion in new business investment, building an economy of the future with unprecedented momentum. Indiana, for the winners.
At Masters Heating and Cooling, we dedicate ourselves to serving our community with professional service and groundbreaking home comfort solutions, keeping each and every customer comfortable in their homes all year round, which is why we offer financing options, perks, and coupons to each of our customers. Like our apples to apples price match guarantee. We'll meet or beat any heating and cooling system replacement offer. So what are you waiting for? Pick up the phone or visit our website to learn more about Masters Heating and Cooling's money-saving offers and other unique special promotions.
The main part of my job is definitely listening. People deserve transparency. I don't want the financial part to be something that stops or hinders a patient from having the health care that they need. I try to treat each person like they're my mom or my grandmother, my daughter, my husband. I want them to know that they're not just another phone call for us. And it's very rewarding to know that I can provide peace of mind.
Stand by me.
As we return to action, look at the highlights again for Indy. A couple of shots in the run of play, a couple of missed opportunities on corners that may come back to bite them. That's a lone foul in terms of a card that you saw in the half that belonged to Greta Krasula. But frankly, the restarts were not threatening for Racing Louisville. What it was one great ball served in by Brooke Dardano. Not a reason, kind of held up for a moment. And in that moment, Jordan Rhodes, as she has done for 4 years playing at such a high level in the SEC, absolutely knocked it home. More chances maybe have been created by Indy, but more possession has been dictated by Racing Louisville. Simply put, Brad, what has to change in half number 2?
Well, you look at it, we just saw that highlight, so it's top of the mind right now. You got a ball back post inside the 6. It's got to be put away. This is a 1-1 game at the moment, and you take a look at this right now. This is a goal scorer, just understanding I got to get in front of the defender. I have to be the first to touch the ball.
And again, Reason just held up for a moment, and that moment of indecision was enough to kind of change the outcome of this game for now. And again, Racing Louisville now has gone through 3.5 matches without giving up a goal. While they certainly think they're capable of scoring more than one, they also been a team where they know that one has been enough for them. We'll see maybe tactically they change things up in half number 2.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I don't think Racing Louisville needs to be making any tactical changes at the moment. I think it's just a couple of marking issues in the back to make sure nobody gets loose back there. It'll be really interesting to see not just are there tactical changes for Indy, but what's the energy like? What's the pace like?
6 home matches for the Indy 11 last season. They won them all. They're in danger of not getting a point in this one. Trailing a goal to nil to their rivals in Racing Louisville Academy. We'll take this quick timeout. We'll come back. Second half action from Westfield comes your way next as you're watching on the ISC Sports Network and 11 Sports.
It's fun to get behind the wheel of the best rides. Honda, in stock now. Save thousands with 0.9% financing. The best value brand with the best resale value. Get 0.9%. Search your local Honda dealer today.
It's very true that it takes a village to raise a child. And when it comes to my healthcare village at Community Health Network, it's all nestled right in my phone. Accessing healthcare is the ability to be connected with your provider and ask a question when you need it. I feel like when I'm meeting with a community nurse practitioner or doctor, they're tuned in to what is going on with me and the way that they can serve me best.
Stand by me.
From the engine to the transmission, Honda certified it. Drive with confidence, knowing from mile 1 to mile 100,000, you're backed with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Only available at your local Honda dealer.
I want to take this chance to thank our fantastic ISC Sports Network crew, Jordan Shue, David Kahn in the truck. Thanks to Rob Lynch, Eric Kinnett, and Aaron Van Wolde on our cameras. And I want to thank Brad Hodder for pinch hitting late in the process in terms of being a part of our broadcast. Again, for those of you that maybe don't follow the USL Championship, we have been the broadcast team for the 11 men since day number 1. Last year, Margaret McLaughlin was my color commentator for the 11 women's matches, and she was fantastic. She up and moved to Cleveland. So we were looking for a candidate, and we think we have one, but then she had something work-wise or family-wise in a very good way that took her away for the opening 2 matches. So at the 23rd hour. Brad Hodder steps in to fill the void. Thank you very much for doing so.
The 23rd hour and the 10th phone call, right? Because 9 other people said, Rake, I can't.
No, it was just 2. You were much further down the depth chart for the men's gig 9 years ago than you were for this one.
That's awesome.
The teams will switch ends, obviously. Has no impact on them whatsoever, other than maybe Sam Castaneda hearing a little bit more from the Brickyard Battalion. There are 3 full-length fields inside this Grand Park facility. This is the showcase field because of the way the stadium alignment is, with the permanent bleacher seats and added bleacher seats to be a part of this. Quick check of the stats in the first half. Not a reason with 3 saves. Castaneda, Fish did not have any. 4 shots in total for Racing Louisville. There was a grand total of 6 shots taken, but none on frame by the Indy 11. Adam Sala is our referee. And he indicates that once he gets that watch set, he's ready to go. 45 minutes left to go. Dangerous ball around the back. And there's been a little too much of that from the Indy perspective tonight.
Hey, you love to see the confidence of playing the ball across, but the pace that Racing Louisville has up top, you just can't bait them into a bad touch coming from you or a misplayed ball.
Takeaway. That's Linehan again. Certainly pointed her out for what she has meant to Racing Louisville tonight. Autumn Weeks racing forward. That'll be a foul. Watson the guilty party. And the restarts have all been in threatening positions for the visitors. By the way, on these foul calls, I don't think any of them have been questionable. I think they've all been very legitimate whistles.
And, you know, they've not been dangerous, and that might have been one of the conversations at halftime. We got to be better on these.
Player goes to the ground, but not enough in that. Linehan works away around Ron, looking back post. Opportunity, doesn't get through. Barr got in the way. Now a secondary touch, knocks it forward on a 4-car pileup in front of Reason. Ball's pinballing around the 18, but an opportunity goes by the wayside for Racing Louisville, and sometimes when that happens, it opens up the door in the other direction.
Yep. And again, came through Linehan. Nice serve across the box. They just couldn't find the touch inside the 18 to put it away.
No substitutions for either side to start half number 2. Knocked forward. I said no substitutions. I was wrong. Addie Chester's been added in. So Chester has joined the mix. Chester wearing the red headband, which makes her easy to spot, and is also, as we mentioned, one of those ties. She plays at the University of Louisville. She is from this area. She went to Delta High School. She's the first Division I soccer recruit in her high school's history. That'll be a foul against the Indy 11. So Chester has joined the mix, and just doing a quick scan, she is in for Cassidy Lindley. So Lindley goes the opening 45. Chester will go the second 45. Chester back for her second year with the Indy 11 women's program. There is great familiarity between these two teams, players knowing each other from whether it's high school rivalries, college rivalries, top flight youth soccer in the Midwest and across the country. Because that's frankly the level of talent we are seeing for this age group on the field tonight.
Oh, great look.
Can Soderstrom get there? Yes. Soderstrom keeps it in play. Has an opportunity, cuts it back.
It was interesting. Weeks, who doesn't quit on anything, did not think that ball was going to hold up and play or that Soderstrom was going to get to it.
That is another substitution, by the way, and another player that has ties to Louisville. So Maisie Whitsitt, who is a recent U of L grad, she is also in the field as well. So Paul Dolinsky has kind of dealt from his deck of cards, if you will, for half number 2. Add a little more firepower to the mix. Rhodes just hits a real estate ball. Just knocks that one further back, makes Indy go chase it. Chatterton and Reason play a game of you got it.
Yeah, and the right call from Reason, right? When, you know, miscommunication there and that ball goes back across the box, instead of trying to deal with it and build out of there, just knock it forward, regroup.
Player goes down and whistle is given. Looks like Weeks be the guilty party. As Soderstrom takes a tumble. I got an encouraging note from
Get out of here.
the teacher that Katie did her student teaching at CFI 84 before the game tonight. She was a student teacher in Jenny Bird's classroom 2 years ago. On the step over, ball sent in, knocked forward by Hirschfeld. I think that's an Indy corner. Let's see. No, goal kick. Hirschfeld the last to touch it. To give you an idea, Whitsitt, who came in, was U of L's leading goal scorer last year with 4 goals. Also had 3 assists as well. Addie Chester, 2 assists playing for U of L last season. Somewhat of a down year for the Cardinals. They were 6-8-2 a season ago.
Great recovery.
That's Whitsitt. Whitsitt had 2 goals in the opening win for Indy against St. Charles, all the way back on May 10th. This is just the 4th match. Matches kind of come in bunches for Indy. Linehan. Zamborini. Turf Monster. Got Zamborini that time. Good cutback. Left-footed shot that was never on frame. Great individual move to at least get a look. But simply put, every time the ball is this into the park in a 1-0 game, that is a victory for Racing Louisville. Another giveaway by Indy, but then Louisville gives it right back. And a giveaway by Louisville. It's Rachel Catella. Could not keep that at her feet. Catella plays at Missouri. She and Grace Pettit on this Racing Louisville squad, teammates at Mizzou. For Indy, it has simply been an inability to link anything together in the midfield. In Weeks.
Yeah, that's the 3rd time that they've been beaten to a ball or had that first touch and had pressure come from behind.
Ball sent in. Chatterton knocks it away. But then on the front foot is Racing Louisville. Have a hit from distance that was never on frame. That was Catella.
And need to finish those checking runs.
Right now, Indy's being beaten in the middle of the park. That's the issue they're dealing with. High line being played by Racing Louisville. Whitsitt knocks it forward. Soderstrom gives chase. Ball checks up on the turf. Soderstrom wins the foot race to get there. And it will be a throw-in for Indy. Well defended by Racing Louisville, but possession maintained by Indy.
Yeah, great pace, great patience. You know, knocking the ball around the back, just waiting. Racing Louisville has stepped their pressure to take everything away on the back line in the midfield, and Indy found the pass to break that press and was able to find Soderstrom.
Ball careens off a couple of players. Headed forward by Indy. All the way to the back. Hirschfeld. Right idea. But again, another good job by Agresti to get in the way. Hirschfeld gives chase, but loses the foot race and then commits the foul. Of course, this match brought to us by our friends at Community Health Sports Medicine. Exceptional care simply delivered. Opportunity here by Rogers. Whitsitt couldn't track it down. Soderstrom, good read. This could not keep it in play. And a goal kick coming for Sam Castaneda.
Indy's been rewarded for their front press. They got their wings moving to the outside, forcing Racing Louisville to play down the middle, and those are the opportunities where Racing Louisville looks a little bit lost in the back line, and Indy 11's been able to pick the ball off in the middle of the park.
That pressure picking up now for Indy. You got a couple of sets of fresh legs trying to instigate that. Rhodes on the other end. Martin, good job just to get in the way. Quick word of encouragement from Callie McKinney, who serves as the W League head coach. Frankly, a little back and forth in the midfield. Doesn't hurt Racing Louisville.
Well defended.
Good job by Chester to race back and track that one down. Possession was largely controlled by Racing Louisville in half number one. And another giveaway by Indy. Catella. Ball sent in. Barr defends. Goal kick. Nice touch by Racing. This game is to some degree kind of wait for somebody to take it. It's a good crowd on hand, but it's been a largely quiet one. They've not had much from the Indy perspective to cheer for.
Yeah, and right now Indy's struggling to build out of the back. Racing Louisville spent some more numbers up top and making it very difficult for them to get out.
Here's a look. Rogers couldn't settle it. Soderstrom trying to do the same. Has a hit. Goes right back to her right foot.
Turn, good hit.
Castaneda has to make her first save of the night. See if that kind of breaks something loose for Indy. Good read. Once again, Chester, the former Delta Eagle. Cut back, Whitsitt, left foot, plays it across, Soderstrom!
Hey!
Look what I found! The Indy 11 equalized, and one more time for Katie Soderstrom. Tonight's lesson plan, goals, 1-1. Indy has tied it in the 59th minute.
Goal scorers just know where to be, and sometimes when you're in the right spot at the right time, the right thing happens.
You can tell by the look on Katie's face. She scored a lot of goals for Carmel, for Butler, for the Indy 11. Sometimes it's just about being in the right place at the right time. But that was tremendous work by Chester and Whitsitt to get it to that point.
Absolutely. Great cutback.
Well, as we said a moment ago, this game was kind of waiting for somebody to take it. Indy is now back in it. Let's see what happens. But clearly there has been a difference since Whitsitt and Chester were added into the mix. Lenahan was the target. Good job by Barr to get in the way.
That's one thing you're always concerned about as a coach when your team is undefeated and unscored upon is what happens when the first goal goes in? What's the response?
And Brad, both these teams now are having that experience for the first time this year. First time that either team has been scored upon. And let's face it, coming into the night, if you told Racing Louisville, hey, you might get a point up here, they would take it and fly back to I-65 and head south. Where Indy was in terms of trailing the match, they would rather take one instead of none. Both these teams only got 30 minutes to make something happen. Whitsitt with the turn. Flying forward, Soderstrom. Right flank has an attacker.
Great ball.
Good look here. It's Chester all the way in. Chester plays it across. Back post. My goodness.
Wow. Great ball. Great ball across.
Well, that was Watson. My apologies. It was Chester that was sitting back post. And Addie, who had 59 goals in her junior year at Delta High School,
unreal,
would like to have that one back.
Well, that was a tough one. I mean, it looks easy because the goal's open. You're sitting unmarked on the back post, but that ball bounces and is coming up. So to be able to get over it and be able to put that on frame is a little bit tougher than it looked.
Aaliyah Martin, whistle for the foul. Clearly Aaliyah thought otherwise. Little equipment need for a shin guard to be replaced, hence the whistle. That's the goal scorer in Soderstrom. Or excuse me, that's Whitsitt. Whitsitt, a California native, came to the Midwest to play at U of L, and she's graduated now from U of L. Trying to apply her craft professionally. Ball cut back. Sometimes your best skill as a defender is to simply get in the way.
Well, you see what Racing Louisville is doing. As they're getting the ball around the middle of the field, Linehan keeps popping out wide to the touchline, drawing herself into a 1v1, and when they can find her with that kind of space, she's on.
Well, kind of slowly and sluggishly, Indy 11 on the bill. Whitsitt deftly finds Watson. We do have some substitutions awaiting to come in. Can Soderstrom get there? No. Two Indy 11 substitutions are about to enter the fray. For Indy, Rafferty Kugler will come in as Greta Krazula will have a seat. And then also Lizzie Sexton will come on as Jenna Chatterton will take a seat. Lizzie from Cincinnati. Guess where she plays her college soccer? Kind of within the theme of the night.
Florida State.
No, University of Louisville. It's okay to get them right, Brad. You don't have to play dumb. It's okay. Rafferty Kubler. She spent time both in Kentucky and at Milwaukee.
Oh my goodness, what a ball.
Linehan was the target, well defended by Indy. So Indy has already used 4 substitutions at this point. Good job to carve out some space by Chester. And that'll be a foul against Linehan. Linehan plays at Penn State. That's Sam Barini on your screen. She too a University of Louisville player. So first half goal belonging to Jordan Rhodes, University of Kentucky product. The Indy goal, as so many have happened the last couple of years, to Katie Soderstrom. Ball knocked forward, but heads up, there's a scoreboard there, kids. There we go.
Yeah,
just because it's on wheels, I mean, they can move it quickly. Be careful around there, ladies.
Great build on that ball. Just a little bit heavy on that final touch.
And Indy took all 3 points from every home match last year. 25 minutes trying to do the same here, but they end up just protecting the point as best they can. With this portion of the match brought to us by Alpha Health and Wellness, official team chiropractor of the Indy 11 women. Well, possession certainly a bit more balanced here in the second half. Good ball to knock that one forward. Rogers couldn't get there. It'll be Indy 11 on the throw-in, as Rogers accurately indicated. Whitsitt. Chester the target. Chester works her way free. Digs in to try to save that one. But you'll notice the point of attack is starting to shift ever so closer now to the Louisville net.
It's crazy what a goal does. I mean, you talk about the field position changing, but you take a look at the strength of the runs, the finishing of the runs. Everything has been different here these last 10 to 15 minutes.
Racing Louisville has a pair of substitutes to the 4th official, which is Carlos Casas. Dana Hackney, Alexander Fearing are assistant referees tonight. I think it's been a pretty good whistle from Adam Sala this evening. Will be a clean takeaway. Indy gets to it. Soderstrom. Whitsitt. Whitsitt. Play it to the side. Quick glance inside of the 18. Looking around the 6. That's Rogers, who will track it down close to the corner flag. Martin will recover. Watson pinched in from a right back spot to track that down as Martin was playing forward. Hirschfeld, well done by Weeks. And we will have a pair of substitutions waved on for the visitors. Caitlin Chase will enter for Racing Louisville. She'll replace Brooke Dardano. And then also entering, Caitlin Rowlett. Caitlin will come on as Sam Agresti will exit. These two teams will see each other again on Tuesday night. It's the only time they'll face each other the rest of the way. Opportunity for Linehan. Good job by Hirschfeld. Again, got the ball first. That's been consistently whistled all night in both directions. If you get to the ball first, a little contact afterwards will be allowed to play through.
Hey, great recovery run from Hirschfeld.
Well, when I asked Paul Delinsky on Soccer Saturday a few weeks ago, give me some new faces I should look out for, Hirschfeld didn't take long to get to her name. Chester and Whitson have changed the dynamic of this match for Indy. Hirschfeld. That time got hit first.
Yep.
If you're enjoying Indy 11 women's soccer, there are 4 more matches in this building, including next Friday night. Ball sent in. Good job to, there's the whistle. Yep. That had largely resolved itself because of the excellent defensive work by Barr to get in front of Rhodes, which is not an easy task. Rhodes beat her one time, and that was good enough for the goal.
And you love the passion in Barr right there. I mean, as soon as the foul happened, she's up yelling, and when she got the call, thumbs up to the official. Hey, yep, you got it.
Ball knocked forward, but Whitson just couldn't get there in time. It was Grace Pettit there defensively for the Racing Louisville Academy. Here's a chance. Whitson knocks it forward.
Touch.
Soderstrom sets it up. Castaneda with the save.
Wow, what a save. Great build-up from 11, finding Soderstrom on the right. She unleashes what is normally winding up in the back of the net. Unbelievable reaction save.
Save of the night right there, no doubt about it. Great setup for the Indy 11.
That's so tough in the 70th minute when you haven't been peppered all game.
So corner kick coming. So Watson will take it. Ball back heel, goes all the way through. Corner, yep. So corner coming.
Yeah, that's a couple now. A couple balls that have gone through the 6, and we've not been able to find the other end of it.
Tonight's game presented in part by the Renaissance Indianapolis North Hotel. Treat yourself to an elegant stay at the Renaissance, just minutes away from both Grand Park and downtown Carmel. We'll wait. Autumn Weeks was down for Racing Louisville. It's quickly back up. Sends it in. Headed down, but right at Castaneda. Great job to get ahead to it by Indy. I think that was Martin that did that. Well, apparently, Brad, the Brickyard Battalion end has been the end to be at. This is where almost all the action has taken place the entire game. Racing Louisville dictated that in half number 1. Indy 11 on the front foot in half number 2.
Good find.
Good looking ball here. Scatella. Raisin. No problem. And again, at some point in the next few minutes, a point will seem like a very reasonable result for Louisville. For Indy, they're going to be charging forward for 3 the rest of the way. Frankly, more pressure on them, knowing they've got to return the date to Louisville on Tuesday. That's last touch by Indy. That's the right call. That was off of Lizzie Sexton. Good job to keep that in play by Weeks. Opportunity here. Watson closing down. Ball sent in. Watson wins it a second time. And Martin will hit that somewhere towards Sheridan.
A great recovery by Indy. Got your right back that jumped up to try and pick off that ball from Weeks and press it. Weeks flicks it into the space that she vacates to create that opportunity.
With some of the defensive changes for Indy, Watson has played more of an interior role in this second half. She was at the right back spot. Reason will get there. Hirschfeld. And Weeks will knock it sideways. This reminder, fans, you can take the Indy 11 with you wherever you go. Download the Indy 11 app in the Apple Store or get it on Google Play. Substitution coming in here. Abby Isger, back for her second year with the Indy 11, will come in. The Butler University product. Ella Rogers done for the night for the Indy 11. So Isger will play a role up top for Indy. We saw her do a variety of things with this team last year. But you've got now 3 sets of legs up top for Indy that are all under 30 minutes or less in this match. Again, playing indoors, it's maybe a little less wear and tear. Indy has not played about 8-9 days heading in. Racing Louisville. Played just a couple of days ago. But much like Indy, they've got plenty of depth on their side. Is there a touch there? No. Throw in coming for the Indy 11. You see our friends at Recruit Productions on the scoreboard. I want to thank them as a brand new sponsor of both the Indy 11 and the ISC Sports Network. If you want to play college soccer? Let Recruit Productions tell your story and get noticed. Visit recruitproductions.com to learn more.
It's a great ball, great find. Just a missed touch by Rhodes there at the end.
By the way, the Indy 11 men have resumed their second half in Charleston. Again, maintaining a 1-0 lead, playing a man up against one of the best teams in the USL's Eastern Conference this year. And we encourage you, when this match is done, to go to ESPN Plus and check out the finale from Patriots Point and College of Charleston. Good read.
Opportunity.
That's Martin. Here's Isger. Martin makes the overlapping run. Martin with the left foot. Doesn't do much with it. Well, first half again, the better team had the goal. Second half, better team has had the goal.
There's something to that, Rake. There's something to that.
I figured I'd leave it to you that played 10 years professionally, coached for 20 to 25 after that. Figured you could explain that than just the other broadcast guy could.
You did it. You did it. You nailed it.
Swing to the near side. Catella knocks it forward. Barr will try to shepherd that across the byline, but offside flag, it goes up. There's some late magic in this for either side tonight. Ball played across. Castaneda gives ground. Not a great clearance.
Oh my goodness.
But a phenomenal save.
And she held it.
Got it with both hands. Got her body behind it. Soderstrom got a good boot to it. Soderstrom got a bit of an accidental goal. Well, since that time, she's had 2 good looks that have been taken away by the starting goalkeeper at Purdue Fort Wayne last year.
Good
Chester,
pressure.
yep. Forces an immediate about face.
this point in the game, both teams have to pick and choose when to spend that energy, when to go sell yourself out on that press, and sometimes it's a bad pass, sometimes it's a bad touch.
Watson. Martin. Martin leads it for Soderstrom. Soderstrom, good cut back. Wants to get it back to her right foot. Again sent in. Eventually headed clear.
Trouble.
Racing back is Indy. Good work to slow down Linehan. That's by Lizzie Sexton that just checked back in. A bit of a fortuitous bounce for Indy. Long distance ball that Isger could not get to in time.
Great job by Pettit, just getting in front to slow the run down a little bit.
This match presented by our friends at Alpha Health and Wellness, the official team chiropractor of the Indy 11 women. Next home match for the Indy 11 against the newly formed Lexington SC. And their men's team plays in USL League One. They will play in the Super League sooner rather than later on the women's side. That is next Friday night at 7 o'clock. Another substitution coming in.
It's a good battle, good fight from Soderstrom.
Michaela DeMello will enter for the Racing Louisville Academy as Savina Zamborini's night comes to an end. Long ball. Whitsitt got ahead to it, but it is deemed she was in an offside position. Weeks the target. DeMello, first touch of the match. Taken away by Indy. Hirschfeld, nifty with the side of her foot. Here's Isger. Isger. Well defended by Racing Louisville. The nutmeg in midfield by Corey Dyke. And that'll be a foul.
It's a bit of a soft spot between Indy's midfield and the back line that Racing Louisville is finding possession in.
Not sure how much in the way of added time we're going to have in this one. Away by Indy by Martin. Indy quickly gets numbers behind the ball, and Racing Louisville did next to nothing with that giveaway. Good ball by Whitsitt. Referee said not enough in it to draw a whistle. Hirschfeld now streaming forward to keep the pressure going for Indy. Whitsitt trying to add to it.
You got an opportunity.
Isger steps up. Louisville able to escape it. Ball knocked forward. Left-footed turn, doesn't get through.
Good turn.
Here's Isger. Isger on the charge.
Needs some help.
It's 1v2 for her right now. Just trying to buy time. Finds her old college teammate in Katie Soderstrom. Soderstrom has a hit. Weeks cuts her back and then wins it a second time.
Can start to see the fatigue affecting both teams. It's becoming a back and forth game. Turnover leads to another team with a lot of space in front of them.
Watson will watch this one. Roll across the end line, 11 throw in, or the touch line rather. Another substitution coming in. Betsy Huckabee will come on for the first time for Racing Louisville, and the goal scorer in Jordan Rhodes. She has put in a full shift tonight. She'll exit. It's 5 minutes plus stoppage time left in this one. And a card will be shown, second card of the night. Both have gone against the Indy 11. A little more time that ticks off the clock. All the restarts, this is kind of the furthest back it has been for Racing Louisville. Soderstrom just knocks that back towards the midfield. Whitsitt digs in on Weeks, excuse me. And Weeks, so again, will just, if you're going to give the ball away, give it away 30 yards in the other direction. Don't give it away in the midfield.
You've started to see fatigue affect a little bit of things through the run of play. Both teams now need to be locked in on any kind of a restart. Those are the times when somebody's trying to grab a little bit of a physical or a mental break, and it just leads to a misread or a mistimed run.
Good ball forward here.
Touch.
Isger deemed as offside. I don't know about that. But Isger did a good job of kind of breaking that off just in time. So even though Racing Louisville led this match for about a 20-minute period, if you had told them when the night started, hey, you're going to pull a point from this one, as it seems they may be able to here, they would take it and run. Knowing they get the home turf when these two teams get together again in 4 days. Ball knocked forward. Good hustle back. Just shepherding across the end line.
And it's that pocket between Indy 11's back line and their midfield that Racing is finding opportunities to play players in defeat.
It's Rafferty Kugler that made that play for Indy. We'll start to glance toward the fourth official and see just how much time is left. Switch to the attack for Racing Louisville. Isger hustles back. At the edge of the 18. All knocked away. Tonight's match presented in part by Sports Tech HQ. Indiana, winning is in our DNA. For more information, visit forthewinners.com. DeMello's onside.
Clever ball.
DeMello sends it in, but Reason took a gamble that Racing Louisville player could not get there. That was Huckabee. It was in the area, but not close enough to do any damage. Showed you the graphic at the beginning of the match, the standings. These two teams sitting on 9 points. Next closest competition sitting on 4. That's the importance of this one. Here's a look. Numbers forward. Ball ricochets though off the defender, and Weeks will send it sideways again. So throw-in coming here for Indy. The restart quick. Martin with a touch. Eventually tracked down by Indy. Trying to hold up play inside the 18. Couldn't get a settling touch, could the Indy 11. 3 minutes. 3 remaining minutes left to go in this one.
Good opportunity. Give yourself a chance here. Put it in a dangerous spot.
Wasn't much in terms of late match magic that was needed last year for the Indy 11. They were so dominant. An opportunity here. Ball sent into the 6. Quickly headed away by Racing Louisville. Nothing comes of that. Linehan. Watson in her hip pocket. Good cutback. At the edge of the 18, left foot, Reason.
Oh, what a save.
Not only made the scrambling save, but kept it in play.
What a save. What terrific build-up from Racing Louisville.
I'm not sure that was going to be on frame. She had no way of knowing, could not take the chance. And to me, as equally as impressive, kept it in the field of play.
No corner.
She was the understudy last summer before making her way to Chapel Hill in the early part of the season. Foul called. And if nothing else, a chance to throw some numbers forward here for Indy with approximately 90 seconds left to go in the match. Take a look. Miss Reason getting some air
done
on that.
Well done. And like you referenced too, in those moments, you're just so focused on making sure that ball doesn't go in the back of the net that sometimes you parry it. She held it.
Job number 1 is stopping.
Right.
Number 2, keep it. Ball sent in. Looking back post. Player goes down, but nothing. You're not going to get that. Nothing in that at that stage. So maybe 60 seconds in this one.
I did like the placement of that ball though, right over the back line and just out of the reach of the keeper. So you got a chance at least to maybe get a flick and a redirection of it.
Whitsitt, the closest Indy player to it. Offside flag is up. Won the full-time whistle. Offside flag was up. But I would think that full-time whistle is not far away. As expected.
Man, right on the money, right?
Well, credit to Racing Louisville. They have accomplished something no team has done before. They have come to Indy and get a point again. It's all of 7 matches. It's still impressive. And now, the decision day for the Valley Division now gets sent about 120 miles south of here. The 2 teams will meet again on Tuesday. Racing Louisville the host. Both teams now sitting on 10 points. And if either team can nick a result on Tuesday, they'll be in the driver's seat of this division with approximately 4 weeks left to go. Jordan Rhodes, the goal for Racing Louisville. Katie Soderstrom, the goal for the Indy 11. 1-1, they share the points tonight. Brad, your final thoughts on this one?
But you kind of like having this game coming up in 4 to 5 days because everything is fresh in your mind. Everything you learned tonight on your opponent is top of mind at this point. You know, we knew it was going to be a battle. Two undefeated, unscored upon teams. They both leave still undefeated and have both figured out how to play once they've given up a goal.
There are just 2 road matches left in the regular season for the Indy 11 women. One of them is on Tuesday night against the same Racing Louisville squad. I don't believe there's a web stream of that match. Follow Indy 11 Live on Twitter for all of your updates. The next Indy 11 women's telecast will be here next Friday against Lexington SC. Be sure to join us then on ISC and 11 Sports. And a reminder, the Indy 11 men are playing as we speak, and they, for 64 minutes, have led the Charleston Battery 1-0. That's in minute number 67. You can go to ESPN Plus to watch that as we speak. But for a final time this evening, for Brad Harder and our entire ISC Sports Network crew, this is Greg Regstrong. Indy 11-1, Racing Louisville 1. Thanks for joining us for home opener number 2 for the Indy 11 women here on ISC and 11 Sports.
For over a century, Indiana has been the destination for sports innovation and the state where champions are crowned. Now, we're entering a new era with Sports Tech HQ, a place that inspires innovation and invests in entrepreneurs who are changing the game, one startup at a time. Welcome to the crossroads of sports and technology. Sports Tech HQ, home of the game changers.
Real quick, if you are sending video to a college coach, would you want it to look like this? Did he save it? Who knows? Come on. Do you want your potential coach to see that video or this one? Of course, the answer is simple. Give us a call or check out our website, recruitproductions.com, for more information.
I'm a happy-go-lucky guy, but sometimes I get a little stressed because I'm not for sure what's going to happen down the road. I was at the cancer unit, and when I come out from seeing the doctor, I said something about needing some help with all the paperwork. They gave me a name and a phone number. Her name was Molly. She works over at Community. She tells me, stop worrying, let me take care of it. She is my angel.
Stand by me. And the winner of the Indianapolis 500.
Indiana, winning is in our DNA. And we're winning the future with $22 billion in new business investment, building an economy of the future with unprecedented momentum. Indiana, for the winners.
Real quick, if you are sending video to a college coach, would you want it to look like this? Did he save it? Who knows? Come on. Do you want your potential coach to see that video or this one? Of course, the answer is simple. Give us a call or check out our website, recruitproductions.com, for more information.